Well, hello everybody. It is Friday, so happy Friday. All your work, as you know, is due by Monday morning. Obviously, your due now has to be done by 10 a.m., so hopefully that was done already, or else you will be marked absent. And your exit ticket is due by 1 p.m. today. But the rest of your work, your math, and your ELA work will be due on Monday morning. So make sure you get it done. You have the whole weekend to do it. All right, so today's the last day, obviously, of the week. We're going to be working on this. We will be reading part of this, I believe, next week, and then moving on to another book. We have 3 books we're reading this summer, and next one will be the third one, and then you will be working on your final project for the ESY program. All right, so today you're reading pages 22 to 25. So again, like I said, 4 pages in total. If you did not attend the Google Meet, you should be listening to this video, or at least going on to Epic Books, logging into your account, and reading this on your own. So you have 2 choices, actually technically 3 if you did the Google Meet, 3 choices on how to read this book, the Google Meet, this video, or reading it on your own in Epic Books. If you don't know how to get in Epic Books, you should already know by now, since we've been doing this ESY program for 3 weeks now. So, but if you don't know, just please let me know. All right, so page 22 and 23 focuses on parties represent conservatives and liberals. So supporters of the Affordable Care Act rally on the steps of the Supreme Court in 2012. So this is when this picture actually does show when Barack Obama was in office, and he did the Affordable Care Act for medical benefits and medical insurance for and have access to all Americans for that. So there you go. All right, so we're going to start with 22, and then we'll go to all the little boxes we have around it with the yellow box and the green box, and then go through the other pages. All right, so here we go. Page 22. Politics today focuses on 2 general viewpoints, conservative and liberal. These terms are used to define the beliefs of voters. Whether a voter is conservative or liberal often decides his or her political party choice. So you're going to go over what those are, but you might have to answer those questions of what a conservative and a liberal is in the Google Doc you're going to do today, so just be aware of that. So a conservative voter does not wish to see rapid changes to their way of life. Conservatives believe in individual freedom over government control. For example, conservatives prefer a small federal government. They do not want government making many of the decisions that impact their lives. A liberal voter is one who believes the government plays a role in protecting individual freedom. They believe a strong federal government can help create equality for everyone living in a country. They place importance on government programs that help the public good. Most conservative voters side with Republican candidates. Liberal voters tend to favor Democratic candidates. The terms have become closely linked to political parties. However, that does not mean conservatives have to support Republicans, neither do liberals have to support Democrats. So these 2 pages are strictly about conservatives and liberals, and how Republicans are tied to mostly conservatives and liberals are tied to mostly Democrats. So let's look at the little yellow box in the corner of 22. So 61% of Americans who identified as conservative or liberal. So that's actually a decent amount. Parties tend to represent liberal or conservative viewpoints. Liberal voters tend to believe government has a role in creating a society that is fair to all citizens. Conservative voters tend to believe creating a fair society is better handled by private citizens. And then let's look at the green box above on page 23, the Tea Party. One political group that has made headlines in the 2010s is the Tea Party. The Tea Party is not a political party. It is a political movement. Most Tea Party supporters hold very conservative views. Tea Party supporters also tend to be white and older than 45. They are found across the country. More than half of Tea Party supporters also identify as Republican. Just 5% also identify as Democrats. So this is another example of a Tea Party. It's not a political party itself. It's just a movement, and most of them are conservatives, and they also represented mostly people over 45 who were white, and mostly were Republicans. So then the Tea Party is shown there as they're protesters at a 2010 rally in Buffalo, New York. You can always research that as well if you need more information on that, as that might not be as clear. Also to find out more information about like what they represented and what they were for. So let's go to page 2425, which is our last page of the day. This is about the Electoral College was a compromise. So Electoral College is how presidents are voted into office. It's not just people voting, it's the Electoral College that plays a role. So there's a popular vote, which is the people, and then the electoral vote, which is, we're going to find out here. So here we go, page 24. The founders of the United States could not decide how to elect a president. Should Congress vote for the president, or should the American people vote directly? Instead of choosing one method over the other, they compromised. They came up with a system called the Electoral College. The Electoral College is not a place. It is a process. It gives states a number of electors based on their population size. The electors vote as representatives of the people who live in the state. The number also determines how many people represent the state in Congress. Citizens in each state vote for a candidate. The candidate who wins the most votes in a state gets its electoral votes. To become president, a candidate must win at least 270 electoral votes nationwide, so in all 50 states. Some people believe the Electoral College does not fairly represent voters. Electoral votes do not represent the popular choice of voters. The votes of all citizens together are called the popular vote. It is possible for a candidate to win the popular vote but lose an election. But supporters of the Electoral College believe it improves the voting process. The electoral system supports the two-party system. It forces candidates to develop popularity across the nation. Without the Electoral College, candidates could win with support from just a few regions. So this basically helps with the population of each state. So the population of each state differs, obviously. For instance, New Jersey is a very populated state, but it is very, very small. New York is a larger state, but it is also very populated, as well as California. So it wouldn't be fair to have, because then if we just relied on people to vote from different states of the country, the 50 states, we may have the larger populated states be the ones that overall decide our president, not overall the entire country. So it actually was not fair. So that's why they created the Electoral College, because that way each of the states have their own number of electoral votes based on the size of their state. So it kind of makes everything equal. So let's look at the ballot box at the bottom of 24. So it says the state's electoral votes are awarded to the candidate who receives the most of its citizens' votes. Okay, so that's basically in a nutshell what that is. Then we're going to go to the other picture on 25 at the top. It is possible for a presidential candidate to lose an election even if he or she wins the popular vote. So yeah, that has happened multiple times in our country with our presidents. Sometimes they will lose the popular vote. Not all the people will vote for that person, but with the electoral votes, they will end up winning presidency. And let's look at the yellow at the bottom, 538 total number of electoral votes in the Electoral College. So that's how many votes are total in the entire United States. They're broken up into different states. So Americans do not directly elect their president, as we know, what we just read. Each state has electors who vote as representatives of the state's citizens, and the Electoral College has benefits and drawbacks. So some people say it's good, some people say it's bad. That only the people should be voting and not having electoral votes, and vice versa. So, and to think about it, which might be your question today for your writing prompt: does the country need the Electoral College? Critics believe it prevents people from voting. Those who think their voice is not heard often do not vote. Others believe it creates political unity in the country. Take a side, write a paragraph explaining your opinion, use these pages to support your answer. So you can use the textual evidence to support it using these pages, and that will probably be your writing prompt for today. And they're also going to have you're going to have your Google form today, which has questions about these 4 pages we read together. It will have some questions about some of the definitions to words that are also on here as well. So make sure you do that, and that is due, since it's Friday, it is due on Monday at 8:30 a.m. Hope everybody has a great weekend, and I will see you on Monday.